Welcome back, everyone. So this is the second podcast. We're going to be talking about the Denver airport theory and all that stuff. So introduce yourself.
Gabe.
Gabe.
I thought you were repeating his name.
Yeah, I was like,
Caleb.
Idiot. So yeah, who wants to start?
Read what you
All right. So currently the Denver airport theory has there's actually a bunch of conspiracy theories in one. For starters, the airport when it was built, it was $2 billion over budget. It's twice the size of Manhattan. There are plaques all around the airport that say it was funded by the New World Airport Commission, which
I think it's just one sign though.
it was just one sign.
I think it's one.
Or then one sign that says New World Airport Commission. There's a blue horse that's like huge,
red eyes too.
and with red eyes. It's called Lucifer. It's like a demonic horse. It's like a statue in the airport, and it kind of represents the four horsemen of the apocalypse, like one of the four horses. There's some artwork of this Nazi guy in like a green uniform with a gas mask with like a sword, and then the runways are built like a swastika. So there's a lot of crazy theories that kind of go into it. And one of the craziest things I want to talk about was like how I think it was it Obama? What was it, like a bomb threat or something?
Yeah, it was a bomb threat.
There was some kind of bomb threat, I think in the White House or Washington, and they brought him straight to Denver. So some people claim that there are like bunkers underneath the airport where he hid. So what do you guys think? I feel like honestly that it's huge. It's a huge place, and just like Disneyland, there's like a bunch of underground tunnels and passageways. But yeah, Disneyland has a bunch. Like
I didn't know that.
on the map of Disneyland, you already see like it looks like a freaking
They claim that there's a child kidnapping.
child trafficking.
Under Disney?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's
That'd be-
huge. Look at that.
Wasn't Walt Disney the,
And then there's like most of it is not even on the map, and a lot of people say like over like 200 kids disappeared in a year in Disneyland, and like there's only a few exits, and every single exit is covered by like police or military police or whatever, and like it's guarded exits, because this is where children go. So like if someone's claimed missing or disappears, they're gonna call like a thing, and then everyone's just gonna be on guard, and they never find them. So obviously there's some kind of secret entrance or exit.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what they use the tunnels for. And there's also some kind of hidden society that pays like, I think it's like $10,000 or $20,000 for a membership to just be in the club, and they're like based in Disneyland or Disney World, something like that.
No way.
Yeah, I think it's
What is it called?
it says 35 Disney World employees accused of child sex crime. And then I don't know if I heard it too that Walt Disney was accused of something along the lines of child trafficking.
But yeah, there's some kind of hidden. Club 33. Club 33 at Disneyland. It's like some kind of huge membership that there's like 33 institutional patrons at Disneyland from like when the club was being built and opened, and it's like tons of money to be in the to pay for a membership. So like $10,000 for a membership, like you're obviously purchasing something. You're not just purchasing a membership unless you really like Disneyland.
But I feel like if you're paying $33,000.
No, it's like
or
I think
15 or like 20, whatever.
yeah.
There's definitely some sketch.
Dude, there's something that's like it doesn't sit
Like-
right. But yeah, so that's like there, and then that also comes to like it correlates with the airport, how the airport has like underground passageways and stuff that aren't on the map. And there's also like there's like a bunch of hidden shit behind like monuments and stuff. Like Mount Washington, there's some kind of archive like room thing behind the faces.
Bro, imagine the tunnels in like DC.
Yeah,
Shit
that's
we
what
don't know
that's what
about?
people talk about. Yeah, there's like
Bro.
tunnels going underneath the entire nation.
Oh, there definitely is.
Yeah. But yeah, Club 33, like you get 5 VIP tours, which is $10,000 in value, which makes no sense.
Bro, I feel like that's like a cover for like
it's a
some,
street
sketch.
cover, dude. Like
Like it's
For sure.
definitely.
You get I mean,
Who really cares about our freaking
like, would you really
VIP
pay
tour?
$10,000, $20,000 in membership fees? So what are you doing with your money? So they're obviously, and there's like, it's like a secret club that people really don't know much about. But yeah, so.
Bro, it was $3 billion more.
$3 billion. So
It wasn't 2 billion. It was 3 billion.
So
That's
Denver,
crazy.
for the Denver airport,
Denver
$3 billion
airport.
over budget. Which is pretty insane. What do you think they have under there though? Like
Definitely some like secret like formulas for like. I feel like they're hiding like.
some kind of archive with like a bunch of hidden books and like knowledge that we just don't know about.
Disney or Denver?
Denver, I'm talking about Denver.
Or some like underground bunkers,
It could be anything.
some like
Really?
nuclear underground bunkers.
It could really be anything. I feel like there's definitely bunkers there for.
Oh yeah, I mean
It's a
Colorado,
huge
Colorado
airport.
like mountain ranges and stuff that they have. They definitely have.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
forgot about that.
I mean the bunkers aren't even they're not like a hidden thing anymore. Like it's just a fact that these high elites created bunkers for them to go to if a certain event were to happen.
Mhm.
And then the satanic guy that I was talking about that left was a guy that really left the group of Satanism,
Oh yeah,
and then now he talks about the plans they have because basically
what's his name?
his name is Daniel Mastrao, but
Okay. So just search up Daniel.
he's Brazilian,
Mastrao.
but yeah. Basically, he was talking about how they have specific plans in place for a certain event, and we were talking about the bunker. And each bunker can hold up to only 20,000 people, and it holds food for up to I think it was 10 or 12 years.
Dang.
So it's like they're ready. They
Wait,
have-
give a little background on like Daniel Mastrao. So for people watching that don't know who he is.
Oh, he was a. First of all, elaborate the fact that like we don't or I don't believe everything he says, but like
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta like look at the side that any side that anyone brings to like or idea to the table, and then play it in context of what's happening in the world. So like, and then obviously we have our own individual background. So yeah, like I'm Christian, he's Muslim, and Guas is Christian too. But so basically, this guy was in a satanic group, and he was in there for ever since he was 17 years old, and
Jeez.
then he just was exposed to a lot of the plans that they have, and this satanic group basically is like, I don't know if the right word is commodity, but basically they are a spread. They're spread around in different groups that everyone hears about. So Masonry, Illuminati, high elites, like these. The high elites are basically the richest of the richest. So the Rockefeller family, Bill Gates,
I feel like
too, like the Queen, that whole the Queen of England.
the
that-
Queen, yeah.
Like all these people, the high elites are the ones who have enough money and power, alongside because of the fact they have money to control basically whatever they want to control. But anyways, they all fall under the category of being dominated by evil or Satan or Satanism. And basically he was in there for a couple of years, and he found out some stuff, and he suffered the consequence, and he talks about it in his videos of the fact that they killed his son.
Oh,
So they killed his son.
they did.
Yeah.
They found out about where he was. They killed his son.
Because
and
he like
then
exposed them in a way.
He exposed him in a way, yeah. And then they killed his son, and he's like I don't have anything to lose now.
So he's
And
just
he
going
converted
all
to
out.
being Christian, and then yeah, he was like, I got nothing to lose,
Damn.
so I'm gonna expose it, and like
I mean, fair.
yeah. So it's like if you see something like that, like all right, someone lost somebody for saying what they believe in.
They don't
Obviously,
have any
like,
motives to lie.
yeah, they're not having
Like,
most of that. Doesn't mean I'm gonna believe everything he says, but it's like you gotta think about it. And he talks a lot about. I mean, now I'm going really into like what he talks about, but he talks a lot about in Portuguese it's numerologia, but in English it's numerology. Is that
Yeah,
the word?
numerology.
Numerology, where it's like it's a lot about numbers and like how numbers feed into like the number 7 in the Bible,
Mhm.
perfection, and things like that, and how the satanic calendar has specific numbers in place to happen for certain events to happen as they planned it, whatever. But yeah, going back to the bunkers, they just have it prepared, especially in Colorado, and are spread across all around the U.S. for events like that. But Denver is like Colorado's 100% because it's just mountain ranges and and basically unoccupied places.
That's what I was gonna say. So like the west of America is all like high elevation areas. So
No, it's not.
yeah, it's like mountain ranges and
middle.
stuff.
Oh, like the middle.
No, like Cali and Colorado is like the highest elevation I think in America. I think. But that means that there's more space on the ground and stuff like that. So they can easily build bunkers.
Bro,
down.
if
I mean, look at the
if
art.
you think that like
That's a painting
in the airport.
in the airport. Yeah.
Bro, I
Show the
saw
camera.
something. Yo, I
I
just saw
can't.
something.
I'm gonna put it on the video.
Bro, it said that like for like the budget for like the airport for the public, it was only like 1% for like the public eye or something like that. It was 1% of
like they
3
only.
billion
Oh.
was for like the public. The rest was like we don't know. Like,
Oh,
there's,
you mean like
underground,
1% of it
bunkers.
is what we can see, and the 99% of the money is just we don't know where it was spent. I see. What's 1% of 3 billion?
We don't get it when I get at math.
Yeah, dude.
30
30.
Oh, I can't. 30 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's enough to build an airport. I feel like I don't know. That's
How
a
much
little.
Logan Airport.
Logan Airport.
Logan Airport's
They got
tiny.
nothing at Logan
I know.
Airport. I don't think.
Okay, but
Denver Airport. I think is it actually twice the size of Manhattan? Twice the size of Manhattan. How big is Manhattan?
Manhattan's huge.
So how is it twice the size of it?
Bro, walking like 10 blocks in Manhattan, you're like
Because of connections flights, so it's like.
But like this painting is crazy. I mean, you see like ruins like in Yemen.
Okay, yeah.
There's like broken buildings. There's a dove, and then this like Nazi guy's holding an AK, and then the knife is hitting the dove.
If he's gonna put the picture on there, then we better just talk about what we think it represents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like kids sleeping on bricks.
This definitely represents the swoop of LGBTQ.
You think so? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's, like,
the high like the way it's just wrapping around basically.
because it's
And
a
just
rainbow.
coming in like a gust of wind.
Mhm.
And then this is definitely the military power that's gonna
or
consume.
it's like how people are like so like they think so strongly about it and like how they advocate for it and shit. But like
It gets
once
lighter.
it like something happens like in the future, like it like diminishes. And then it
But
turns
why?
into
But
something.
it's coming into these ruins, so it's basically coming in and creating. It could be like this
But it
wind
could
is
be like
destroying
the
everything.
thing of his knife. Like
You think?
I mean,
Because
it went
it's
past
fallen.
it though. This dove. Oh, this dove is definitely the piece that they claim to bring, because and the Bible specifically talks about how at the end times there's gonna be peace and security, and then the end's gonna come, and the dove represents peace because and hope, and it's quote unquote hope, because right when the end of times came for Noah's age, when the flood happened, a dove came as a representation of hope and peace. And that's what they're just gonna claim. But behind, which is crazy, is right behind the dove was a dagger or a knife
yeah, to like stop the
to
peace.
basically show that not right behind this piece or whatever is coming out. There's something bigger.
Excuse me. Is it like I can't tell where its wings are and which one.
Logan Airport cost 91 mil to build.
91 million.
And that was 1923.
Okay.
And
So that's
it's 30 million.
it. Really is 30 million. Okay. I don't know if it's 30 million. It shouldn't be 1% then. It should be a little bit more.
Should
Maybe
be like,
10.
Maybe like yeah.
Yo, so the horse, we were talking about the horse, right?
The Horseman. Yeah.
So basically, the Bible talks about the 4 horsemen, and the 4th one is a pale horse. And then the verse that it talks about is in Revelation, Apocalypse. And it says, "And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, 'Come and see.' And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth to kill with sword,
Oh shoot.
and with hunger,
Oh, people are hungry
and
and
with
starving.
death, and the beasts of the earth."
Whoa.
So then, but then just as a context,
that one.
it says, only the rider is identified by name, Death. He is followed by hell, the destination of the dead. His
They all look like they're on a pathway going somewhere.
right.
And they're all like on this like kind of road thing, and it's like leading somewhere, and it just looks like everyone's
Like away
hungry.
from here.
Yeah, or yeah. Like
So
this
they're-
is all like bombed or destroyed, and then there's just
From like
path.
war, do you think?
Yeah, because he has an AK here
True.
with a bayonet and then a gas mask.
But continue on. It says
Is that Eddie?
it says that the destination of the people of hell, his color, in the original Koine Greek is given as, I don't know Greek, but it's there, which means pale green, and seems to typify the color of a corpse.
Pale
Green is relatively the color
He's
of the
literally
horse.
pale green, but the horse is like blue.
Yeah, it's like bright
Well, I
blue.
mean,
What
like
is
bright
there a
blue.
horse that's blue?
no, that's not a horse. That blue. It talks about pale and then pale green, but pale green.
Well, what are the colors of the horses? The 4 horses.
It's well, there's a pale horse, black horse, red horse, and then the white horse.
Blue. It's a blue.
So like a pale green. Okay. I mean, dang. Okay, so I mean, is that not the same as?
Pale green is relatively near.
I mean, it's the same uniform. Look, what I'm trying to say is that
that guy,
the man
yeah,
in the
me
picture
too.
looks exactly like an Israeli soldier with a gas mask. Like, I don't know. I'll toss up a picture
Why do you think it's Israeli out of anybody
because
else?
it reminds me of
Yo, it looks like Russia though.
no Israeli gas masks look like that. He's wearing an Israeli gas.
Right, but
They're called
the
Israeli-
hats. The hat that you're wearing.
Look, it's the same. It's the same thing. Oh, the hat.
If we
though.
find that symbol,
But I think
listen,
it's.
if we find that symbol,
We'll get to where it's.
Yeah.
And then it would be Nazi. It would be Nazi.
would it?
I mean, it just probably just represents social control, and domination by said orders.
Is it?
It's the same bird. Right there.
Well,
No, I don't see the swastika. Okay. What's that bird then? Strange. Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the logo on the guy's hat is in the picture. I don't know. But yeah, there's like more artwork too.
spread across the airport is very. I mean, the thing is that like people try to hide things in plain sight because when it's in plain sight, people don't really see it.
So the true like what people say the meaning like the fact of the meaning is for the painting, for the mural.
Gabe, I think it is Nazi.
It's supposed to
It is.
it's a Nazi.
Yeah,
It's supposed to tell.
Look. It says. It's talking about the shape of the runways. How
Oh,
it's a
it's a
swastika.
But like the swastika is not like very apparent. Like if you're looking for it, you'll see it.
They also have glob.
There can be interpreted
goblins over
Nazi
there.
themes in artwork previously mentioned. So.
But all right, so here it says that the painting is supposed to tell a hopeful story of peace and environmental stewardship in times of war and pollution. Not the Rainbow Latin Resolution. Children of the world dream of peace. The red eyes are homage to the artist's father who worked with neon signs, bruh. Could I have any color neon?
Okay, so rainbow.
So I mean, it doesn't really. So it's supposed to be a symbol of protection to ward off evil spirits. But yeah, I mean, we can also talk. So
It also says they have specific. The Denver Post a time capsule scribed with the Freemason symbol, and the words "New World Airport Commission" of Denver International Airport. But the Freemasons are a century-old
What
secret
kind of-
society.
yeah, I mean, the Freemasons though, it's an actual frat, like it's a fraternity type of thing for the nation. So I mean, there's a lot of obviously there's hidden agendas and hidden things that we just don't know about it. We'll never know, yeah. But I mean, about the runway though, what I'm reading here, it says it's shaped like it. I mean, if you look at
it says like Nazi runways, remote locations.
yeah, that's what I'm reading. Like if you really look for it, like you can obviously see a swastika, but like it's supposed to be a rotating fan-shaped design so that the airplanes can like take off into and against the wind from different directions. So like it just adds different layers. But like it's not like 4, it's literally like 7, like yeah.
There's a swastika in there, so.
Yeah, I mean if you're really looking for it then you'll see it. So I don't know if that's, but it's still crazy. It's the biggest conspiracy though. Like you have to really look for it. Like from outside there's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, different.
Actually, like look at it. But yeah. All right. Have you guys thought about how so we've only dug 8 miles. I think it was 8 miles deep into the like Earth's surface. Yeah. And that's as low as you can go. Because of the pressure and the heat. So like what do you think is below? Because we literally have no idea what's below.
I mean, all we know scientifically is Earth's crust, then the mantle, then the thingy, the core.
In Joe Rogan's,
but that's just like textbook science of what they
yeah,
say,
dude.
so.
There's been scientists. Oh man, I forgot who it was. There was a scientist, if I think of the name, but he literally proposed that the Earth was in layers. There's like layers to the Earth. Well, obviously there's layers, but like I'm saying like hollow layers, like the Earth, the surface, and then the crust, and then another hollow layer, and then another crust, and then another hollow inside. So it's like multiple levels.
I don't think it's hollow.
There's a theory though. There's a lot of theories.
Bro, in Joe Rogan's podcast with freaking Elon Musk, Elon Musk was telling us how Earth itself is like a ball of like lava, and how like he was saying, you know how he's building tunnels underground in LA? He was explaining. You guys watched it, right? This podcast with him. Wasn't he explaining how when he's damn, I just lost my train of thought.
Bro, I mean, it's hard to like. One is the pressure they said, then it's the heat because of the lower you go, the harder it gets, and then it's also how to like. Because of more pressure, more heat, how do you conduct movement in a setting that's like that difficult? Like the lower you get, the harder it is to like.
But the theories are that advanced societies live in the center of the hollow Earth, like they live in the middle of the Earth, like inside of the Earth, and like the entrances are the North and South Pole, and like as you go deeper.
Oh, you're talking about like that's a conspiracy theory?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean it's very.
Yeah, it's a theory. I mean, I'm not saying I believe it, but like that's pretty cool. Like if you think about it as a thought experiment, like what if that really happened? Like the deeper you go into Earth, there's like more, like a whole society there.
I was talking about that secret society place that they meet in California that I sent you. That all the elites, they have the specific secret society over there, and I'm trying to figure out where it was that I sent it to you.
Oh, the secret society.
But it's a specific place in California to which they drive to at a certain point, like when they want to, and they basically plan out what they want. Basically, again, like that the New World Order stuff. Like they just plan out what they think is best to like keep controlling people or instilling.
Wait, are you talking about like that society that like goes to like in the middle of the woods, like the 1% of the world.
Yeah.
And they like burn like that owl.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. There's like this huge statue of an owl where they bring like all these like sacrifices to, and then they burn it. And it's like, what is it, like 60 feet tall, something like that?
Yeah,
it's huge. Yeah, and all of the elites go there, like the 1%, like they're all like in that society. It was a TikTok thing. Yeah. That's insane. I'm gonna toss up a picture if I
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, that's what it was.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, this guy was telling me. I saw a video for the Richard Harley. It's pure
I mean, there's just it clearly doesn't make sense as to why even.
I mean, this is creepy right here. But all right. See right here. Look at the Sphinx. And underneath the Sphinx in Egypt, there's a room that nobody knows what's in it. Well, people know what's inside, obviously, but not the public.
Where do you think aliens built the pyramids?
A lot of people, like Nikola
Tesla.
Tesla claimed that the pyramids are like big batteries. Like I don't know if that batteries is the right word, but like they're kind of like generators almost.
No, yeah, like
of
that.
energy.
Bro, I saw a TikTok.
Yeah.
And it was like, at like a certain point back then, like, if all the pyramids were like in a certain like spot, or like the Earth was like in a certain spot, I don't know.
The pyramids are extremely calculated.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Whatever it is.
It's crazy.
Which makes no sense. I don't know how.
But what do you believe? What do you believe? What do you believe? Okay, we're gonna go into this damn segment. What do you believe created the pyramids?
Yo, honestly,
it's hard to believe.
It's hard
that,
to
like
know anything without information. Like we don't have enough.
I mean, from the information you have, or you
that I know of right now.
What do you think?
It's hard because like we're told that like Egyptians like they built the pyramids and like all that, but like how are they gonna like they're lifting like 2,000 ton like blocks.
Yeah.
Like what? Like no, like no way
No,
they have manpower.
So you don't think
for
it was slaves and use a specific like
No,
because they were
there's
really
no-
smart in general though, like in terms of like
the
architecture.
geometry, yeah, like
They're really
everything's
smart.
Perfect.
But then again, like you don't think it was like slaves and the use of their really good at the time architecture to like create it. I mean, then again though they say
then
that even now,
all of them would have to like know exactly what they're doing.
yeah, and
to,
slaves
like,
were beat up way too much. Like
there's just
to
no
like
way.
maltreated too.
Nah, I feel like there's definitely some.
But do you think it was aliens?
Possibly. Like I
Do you
feel
think it was aliens?
definitely.
So, there's images of like you know how they do hieroglyphics and stuff in like stone tablets. So there's like images of huge giants carrying those stones like on their backs, like holding them up like that type of thing. So like I believe well one thing that I don't say I believe it 100%, but I can entertain the theory of like back in that day there were like there's like giant humans like 13 feet tall type of thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the owl thing is crazy. But so for me, I believe that either it was giants that built it with the help of, I don't know, alien intelligence, extraterrestrial, like
There's definitely some extraterrestrial.
some kind of something in there. Because I mean, here, let's go into aliens. UFOs exist. Period. Period.
Complicated.
Complicated, but they exist.
Well, look, like
Is there extraterrestrial life?
I believe so.
depends what you're talking about. Is there extraterrestrial organisms?
Yes. With
life.
What's life? Like a
no,
plant? And
that
like Jupiter?
no.
That's life.
No, like
That are
intellectual,
self-aware.
Like
They're
an
self-aware.
alien, basically
Intellectual-
the general like term of what people think
A
an alien
being.
is somewhere else.
A being.
Any type of
I
intellectual being.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
I
self-aware.
think even though there's the possibility of happening, there's not sufficient like I forget what the term is that I saw somebody talking about this, but just because there's a possibility of something happening, which there is, like there's 100% possibility that because of the amount of space we have and planets we have, there's a possibility of aliens being present, but there's not enough sufficient
Evidence.
not evidence,
something to support their
something to
life.
support their life. Like look, if you look it up right now, and if you look it up, I think it's reasonable faith fine-tuning argument, you'll see the like odds that we have to be exactly what we are and like to function. But like, we are so fine-tuned, not only our universe, but like our bodies, everything we do, that like if one thing was off,
If the Earth
we
was
would
off
go
for like
everywhere. Like, it wouldn't work.
0.00001 degrees, we'd be dead.
Yeah. And same thing with our bodies.
Crazy.
So just because there's a possibility of it being there doesn't mean it's sufficient.
I mean, but
and the thing is, it goes off. Like you can talk about like then morality, like what grades their morality if they're a living being, consciousness, and then if they have consciousness, and do they have free will or not? And if they have free will or not,
look, there's
then they
definitely
sin.
life somewhere else. I'm not saying like what the question really, when someone says is there life out there, we don't really mean is there some kind of bacteria on another planet. No, we mean like is there a being that is self-aware and that has a consciousness,
Right.
that is able
With
to
that-
make decisions and can fend for them, like, you know.
Okay, if a being can do that, then they have to have free will.
Yes, exactly. If
Okay,
they have
and if they
free
have free
will.
will, then we know God is he has dominion and is sovereign over everything, right?
Yeah.
So if that creature has free will, then it can sin. right? And if it sins, then how can it be holy and justified in God's eyes? Which like,
but
like Christ
but
died
now,
for our sins.
Yeah.
So that means like Christ would have to go there and die for their sins. Like that's why.
Now don't limit your thinking.
Okay, but he's everywhere.
Because
always.
that maybe
Jesus.
Look, if you say if you say
like,
God,
it doesn't matter if it's
as a
this. Okay, he could have been in that form.
No, but
like,
now you're assuming that God, that was for humans.
Yeah.
God didn't specifically say that he didn't make life anywhere else.
Yeah.
That Jesus, Moses, Abraham, I believe in Prophet Muhammad, like that's all for humanity. It doesn't mean that they sent those people to the other planets.
No,
like,
I'm
that's
not saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
like
that.
all the books, the Bible.
Yeah.
So you don't think that there's other forms of like.
What I'm saying is our rules don't apply to them. That's a different.
No, I know.
You know?
They have.
You don't know if they have their own prophets. If they have, that's a different story. Don't limit your thinking there. Like, for example, the tardigrade, it can survive pressures unhuman.
But you guys are agreeing on the same thing.
These are
I'm the
things
one who's disagreeing.
Well, no, I know, but what you're saying is
the
like,
fact that, like
the only reason we're present right now is because everything's fine-tuned to like support life for humans. But there are animals and not animals. There are organisms that can survive things that humans can't.
Right.
Well, like tardigrades are practically invincible.
The little ones that are bears. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Basically,
like,
you saw the movie Ant-Man.
bears.
Remember he was floating in the quantum realm, and he saw that thing that looked like a kind of bear, but it was like gooey and fluffy.
Oh,
They're like they're extremely like basically quantum microscopic organisms that like can survive thousands and thousands of years.
They're practically invincible.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that like they still came to be.
Yeah.
So where are we trying to go with that?
What I'm saying is, if they can survive anything,
then almost everything. They can survive.
Of course. There are obviously beings out there that could possibly survive conditions that humans can't. Like that. First of all, in the Milky Way alone, I think I saw this article. Scientists propose that there are 14 billion other planets, Earth-like planets, in our Milky Way system alone.
Bro,
I don't know if that's fact or fiction.
To think that there's like no other intelligent like life form, like is naive. Like you just can't think that there's no other intelligence.
Okay, so physics.org says that there's as many as 6 billion Earth-like planets in our galaxy. So according to new estimates. Now, this is what I'm saying. Every single year, science says one thing is not possible, and then a year later it says it is possible. Last year, UFOs didn't exist. Now they're saying they do. So, like, I'm saying, like, don't listen.
How long did they know that?
Basically,
no, but
with this kind of
that's the thing.
copywriting.
That's something you just don't know. No, we can't. We can't really play it. I mean, do like closed captions, like read the caption. But what I'm saying is like there are things that like we can't judge our opinions on what the government releases to the public. We have to get our own conclusions through information that we collect on our own. So it's important to like not limit your thinking. You know what I'm saying? Not just leave it.
Oh, okay, that's what he said.
Right.
He said just because you have the necessary He said just because you have the necessary conditions for life.
But what are the conditions for life?
Doesn't mean you have. Sufficient conditions for life.
But what is the conditions for life? Like
water, like all these things.
Why?
Just because we have all these things, because that's the way we function.
Exactly, that's the way we function. Now we're limiting our thinking to
the way we function. You're talking about the physical aspect of ourselves. If you want, then you go to consciousness and like morality and stuff
what I'm
like
saying,
that.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying we're limiting our thinking to saying that life can only be supported by water. How do we know that for certain?
You're talking about us.
I'm not talking about us. I'm saying like an extraterrestrial being is not a human.
But it still falls under the the nature that's present.
We have no idea.
No, I'm not saying they're human, but I'm just saying it still falls under the nature that's present in our universe.
But
like,
what is that nature?
Beyond.
We know nothing except what's on the earth, and we barely know
the
our
periodic table is what we have, but
that's it. And we're still finding more things.
No,
like
exactly.
every single element we
No.
discover is getting added as like number 114, 15, 116. Like
right.
these are all new elements
But,
that
like,
we didn't know about 100, 200 years ago. Every 100 years we exponentially increase our knowledge.
Right, but like life in itself isn't just the physical aspect, it's like the spiritual aspect as well.
Correct. But
So,
who's
like,
to say that they don't also have a consciousness? Because
No,
if
that's
your
what I'm
brain,
saying. If you have a consciousness, you're like that's a whole other topic. That's why I don't believe like the physical aspect. Great. Like if we're just talking about the physical, I could probably go along and probably believe that physically
like,
something's out there.
Look, for example,
but if you're talking about morale, like consciousness, that's different because they can make opinions. What they're and everything.
a dolphin can make an opinion.
Right, but everything we have here is for a purpose. So like, what's their purpose? And then again, it goes beyond that. It's like, what's the
aliens' purpose?
But
Exactly,
that's not
like,
for
there's
us
no-
to. We can't even fathom it because we have no idea. Like that is a completely different thing.
I mean, but then again, God wouldn't right? He doesn't have to go ahead and say there's aliens here, and then like he doesn't have to say that. But like, he's also not going to be like
there isn't, or
do the vice versa, like do the opposite. So like, if that was the case, and there was beings out there. With moral sense, like, okay, basically here's what I'm trying to say. We came to be, right? As Adam and Eve and everything, and then the moment we sinned, we became sinful creatures. Everyone beyond that. If it wasn't for what we believe, Christ dying, then we would have justification to be seen as holy for God. Now, if we have moral creatures. If we have moral creatures on a different planet and they sin, or in other words, act unholy in God's eyes, who can just?
But no,
like, they're not gonna create.
Now you're bringing
God's laws don't apply.
Look, exactly. Now you're bringing
God's sovereign over the universe. He can't just create a law and not apply it to somebody else.
Well, it doesn't apply to. Well, okay. Now here's where you're kind of limiting your thinking. Our religion, our different religions, so we all have the same 10 commandments. Right? Those 10 commandments are for humans. Yes. God could give we don't know what God's plans are. You can't even pretend to understand God's plans. You can't.
Apply to animals?
You can't.
No, but here's the thing. God is holy. I don't know if you can see. God is holy, right?
No.
If anything defies that holiness, it's deemed as sin. So if you have a free soul,
humans, dude.
No, but we're talking about consciousness. It's you're either sin or you don't.
It's different.
No, because God.
It could be different.
How? If God reigns,
you don't even know
if God's holy over everything. He's sovereign. God is God. He's the most important. That's all that matters right there, right?
Yeah.
So he's not going to create a creature that can defy his thinking or holiness and then not have to justify if he wants to be present with those creatures. And what I mean by that is like, all right, he creates those aliens or whatever it is and somewhere else, gives them free will. Mm-hmm. If you give somebody free will, they can choose whether to follow him or to defy him, as in go against what he's saying.
Correct.
And everything he does out of love, right? So he's not going to create something out of love and then just not want to have them. So in that case, in our case, he created us out of love. We sinned against him. So what he did do out of love, died for us. He died for us, for our justification, so we can then be present with him.
Okay, but now you're bringing your beliefs. Look.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If you're giving somebody a free will, they're going to like at some point fall away from the perfect holiness of God.
Okay.
Because free will, that's just what it is. It's the ability to choose right or wrong. So you can't have a moral creature and then like have them defy God's rules if God's sovereign.
Well, what if God's rules are different? I'm saying you don't know God's rules.
But he's holy. Like his rules are holy.
Correct. Now, but that's for us. You don't know.
No,
God's
it's
rules
for God.
Beings.
It's not for me. It's for God.
Like, yes,
I didn't create those.
But for us to worship Him,
to glorify Him. Yeah. But that's His rules.
That's for like humanity. I'm trying to say that God might have different rules for different beings because this is like you said. If you want to bring religion into it, this is the entire universe is God's kingdom.
Yeah.
Different sections of the kingdom can have different life forms. And what I'm saying is he brought
different laws could.
God brings different books for different, like, for example, depending on the era and depending on the time, he brings a prophet for that era and time. In the case of Jesus, there was a lot of disease going on and corruption and like taxes, so he brings someone that can heal. For Moses, at that time, there were a lot of people that were worshiping like sorcerers and magicians, so he brought Moses, who can perform the most pure and holy magic. I mean, even the staff turning into the serpent, like that was something that like people can't even the magicians there bow down to him, were like, that's insane, like that's nothing but divine.
Mm-hmm.
So God brings different prophets and books for different time periods and eras, so that
You're trying to say the aliens have different rules.
prophets, they have their own prophets.
Okay.
That's
But here's what I'm trying to say.
their own conditions.
That goes against God's nature. No,
Why?
Because if murder is wrong on our planet and then murder is wrong over there, that's two different things.
Yeah, exactly, but it doesn't.
But
we don't.
God has to be truth. Truth is one.
Okay, but okay.
Truth can only be one thing. He can't just contest, say murder's fine and one
Okay,
thing, and then
but here,
wrong, and
what's your
that's-
point though? What's your point?
What I'm trying to say is you can't have a the odds of you
You're out of
having
the camera, by the way.
oh shoot for a long time.
You've been out of the camera for a while. Yeah.
Basically what I'm trying to say is like it goes again, like just because there's the ability to have life tomorrow doesn't mean there's the sufficiency. I forgot what the term is, but you can look it up. It's Frank Turek. Someone asked him about aliens, and he's a philosopher, apologetic dude. But like we are humans, and there's only so much that we can do because everything's fine tuned to just allow us to do those things. Like I can't just fly. The nature that I have, because God gave me this nature, I'm living to this nature, so I can't just like change nature on my own or change reality on my own for my own. Like I don't have that. I'm not sovereign over the universe.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that, like, if we are moral creatures and we sin, right, and you give another moral creature and you give them the ability to have free will, they're gonna sin. They're gonna ultimately sin. Like even if you put me in the spot for
So are you saying
I would have sinned?
Well, okay, but how does that disprove the fact that there's other life?
Because if there's another life and they have a moral aspect to them, they're gonna sin. So what's gonna justify them?
We don't know.
There has to be a justification.
Yeah,
for the whole
there might be, but we don't know.
Right, but God wouldn't just justify one thing and then do it again. He would justify everything for everything. As in, like, anybody who sins, because they're part of our universe, right? They're part of our universe. So if
but there's
There's different
universes.
multiple universes.
a multiverse, but like God's still controlling over that, so he's still sovereign over that. But like the sin that.
But
the sin
like
that
different
Christ
universes
covered-
have So our our universe has like a like it all abides by like the law of physics, right?
The law is given to
I think that mathematics and science and then the laws of physics, like there comes to a point where some things don't apply to other things. Like for example, the laws of physics don't apply to the quantum realm. They just don't. That's why there's a new level of physics called quantum physics, because it just doesn't carry over. So like now we don't know what other things don't apply to other things. You know what I'm saying? Like all of science is just so young, so naive.
Well, the thing is that it's there. Like the laws that you're talking about, they exist. Science is the only thing science is doing is uncovering them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what.
So it's like
we haven't discovered anything yet.
But we're just uncovering things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we haven't even really seen. So we haven't even really seen what a black hole actually looks like.
Yeah.
Which isn't barely. That picture is just. This is the black hole, this little sphere, and then light coming from here travels and then like curves around it because the gravity curves light, and it just keeps. So you put a little wall right here, right? Light coming from here curves, hits it. Here curves, hits it, and then it forms this and it just thousands of light sources curving all around it, from all space around it, curving and then hitting it, and then it just creates a circle. That's the picture we see. So we can't even see this. We're just seeing that little circle of light. Which is insane. And then even more, we can't even get close enough to it because we can't cross the event horizon and look at the singularity. We don't know the physics. We don't really know the physics of a black hole, and especially the properties of a singularity. We only have theories.
I heard.
I mean, even gravity is a theory.
I heard a pastor talking about.
I mean, there's places where gravity.
I mean, it's the law of gravity, but like, there's
I
places where, according to
like a black hole has like I don't know infinite gravity or something like that. Some kind of it's like it's an insane number of, and a singularity has like infinite mass. I don't know.
There's this pastor that somebody asked him like, what are we gonna do when we get to heaven? And he was like, I know one thing for sure is that I'm gonna ask God about what's out there, and like everything else He created, the like expansion of everything. He was like, because bro, if you think about it, God's sovereign, everything. He can, like, people can fly if God will.
Look,
fly, but like,
now look. The singularity of a black hole is one-dimensional. It contains a huge mass, an infinitely small space, where density is infinite, gravity is infinite, space-time curves infinitely, and the laws of physics do not apply. Now this is just
this makes me want to watch it yourself.
This is why I love physics.
From what we know.
Like, yeah, from what we know. Now, that's crazy. If you shrink the sun to the size of a penny, you got a black hole. If you shrink the sun, the mass, the density, the mass of the sun to the size of a penny, that's a black hole.
Is it?
It creates a black hole. It breaks and then it creates a black hole. Like space-time, like all that. I don't know how to explain it. No, it's not about nuclear. That's nuclear.
That's nuclear, yeah.
If you take anything with a huge mass and you compress it, that mass does not change. You compress it to the size of like of a penny. It'll create a black hole. Boom! Like it just space-time breaks and then boom, black hole forms, and it starts destroying everything around it.
So we've talked about Denver Airport.
It's scary. Now, what if you how do you say weaponize that? That's crazy. That's a different. That's a different.
So we talked about black
shooting
hole.
a black hole.
Black hole.
Yeah. That'd be
black
crazy.
holes. Denver Airport, Bohemian Grove.
We didn't even talk about Bohemian Grove like that.
Barely. We just went sporadic on different topics, and then we talked about the possibility. We hinted.
Of
alien life or whatever.
Yeah.
I think we should just finalize on like one. What do you think would happen if we reach the end of the ever-expanding universe? Because we know that the universe is
I feel like we'll just watch it keep expanding. Like you go to the end, and it just loops back around. No, because light. If you shoot a light beam in one direction, you'll see it coming from behind you in space. Because space is a sphere, or like an oval or something like that. It's like round. So like it's like an ever expanding ball, which is why
I don't have enough of like.
Which is why the what's it called? The Big Bang is such a good theory because it's like it started off as a little tiny thing and then it keeps growing like that. So like space is not.
Not space is flat. What do you think would happen if you reach the end of the never expanding universe?
I feel like. If we had the means to, I feel like there would be, even though like you had the means to get there, I feel like there would be something there that would like interfere with you getting back, and you couldn't.
I mean,
getting back or past?
If you travel at the speed of light, right, you'll be traveling. I heard that one. You could get there. So I don't know. I actually don't know if you travel at the speed of light, could you even get to that?
Yeah. No, I heard something. I heard something about like. This is obviously like a lot of the stuff we talk about has backgrounds to my Christianity.
Really?
Yeah. But he was talking about how like
very obvious.
He was talking about how like if you go past the speed of light and you reach that ever expanding universe, then you get to another dimension. You reach interdimensional travel.
Okay.
And then you reach heaven.
All right, this is another. This is podcast number 3. This is podcast number 3.
So then that's what he's talking about.
Let's wrap up here. Thank you for watching.
Bro, what if you?
No.
See,
I got now we're gonna keep talking after.
Please like, subscribe, drop some topics down below in the comment section. What's wrong with you? Let us know what you think, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, you're gonna drop our ads though, right?
No.